This is Queen with Soft Eye Boutique. I am in my car on my way home. Just went to one of my favorite little discount stores, but I wanted to get on here, and I don't want my page to turn into the blame game, but also as a millennial, a Black American millennial, direct descendant of United States chattel slavery, I need to utilize my voice to speak out about my experiences with the generations before me, especially the Black females who came before me. And I do use female. I do not care. Okay, adult human female. Okay, adult minor female, a minor human female. I really don't care. I use the term female, but I want to get on here and talk about the failure of the Black adult human female professionals, especially in the medical field, who really failed me, right? So I've already talked about the herbalist and all of that. It's really a whole bunch of BS, because what millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha are dealing with health-wise, all of it is epigenetics, right? And the majority of it, herbs are not going to work as a standalone. So at this point, because there's so much compound epigenetic trauma due to being a direct descendant of United States chattel slavery, herbs are not going to work on us the way that they have worked or would have worked for those who came before us, because we're so far removed and we just have so much compound trauma that was never addressed back then, right? So I'm currently dealing with some health issues. I know I'm going to overcome them. Right now I'm just really in the state of being annoyed at dealing with these health issues. I'm more frustrated and annoyed than a sadness or grief, right? Because I know and understand what I am dealing with, not only physically, but metaphysically as well, and epigenetically what I'm dealing with. And it's like, because the people who came before me didn't take care of this, it was passed on to me through epigenetics, right? But I'm saying all this to say is, a lot of the issues that I'm dealing with right now, I don't want to say that I'm dealing with, I'm in a state where these issues are currently existing in my reality. These issues have always existed since I was a little girl, right? And now people are trying to tell me that these are symptoms of what people will call perimenopause. I know I'm not in no damn perimenopause, okay? Thankfully, I found a nurse practitioner who knows and believes me and knows that that's not the case. And she believed me when I told her these issues that I'm dealing with, that people are saying is a sign of perimenopause. I've been experiencing these issues since I was a little girl, and I never got the treatment and I never got the help that I was supposed to get back then, because those healthcare practitioners, they sucked. I'm one of those Black people, okay? Even though I don't come from a family of Black professionals, I've always had Black doctors. So that was something, like when people say that they've never had a Black physician, a Black nurse, that's something that's very foreign to me. And I'm from Louisiana, I'm from the South. So I never experienced not receiving health care from a Black person. I am frustrated and annoyed because they were horrible practitioners. Horrible practitioners. When you just go through life and a lot of compounded trauma, the brain suppresses a lot of things, right? I'm at the point in my life where the health issues are starting to affect the way my quality of life was always they've always affected my quality of life, but now it's starting to affect the way that I practice law. So it's it's more so of this tug of war when I'm practicing law, internal tug of war. And then I have to deal with the external tug of war, like the judges, the opposing counsel, all these other crazy people, and all these other crazy factors. And I realized that a lot of what they are saying is perimenopause. For me, I can't speak on another woman. I've always had these issues since I was a girl. I really sat down one day and I was not even trying to channel and go back to this particular point in time and figure out when this happened. I was literally just laying in the bed one day. I was like, I'm just going to rest. And I was able to quantum leap back into times where doctor's appointments that I suppressed, okay, they started to come back and I started to remember them. So a lot of this had to do with the Black healthcare professionals noticing that I was dealing with a lot of these issues, but never giving me treatment or just saying, don't worry about it, it's not that bad. And a lot of it had to do with my primary caretakers. The woman who gave birth to me and the woman who gave birth to her, not caring at all either. So I'm just frustrated that I never got the help that I needed way back then. And now I have to, deal with this now at the age that I am, knowing good and well I'm not in perimenopause, because what I do know is a lot about my particular bloodline. I can't speak on anybody else's family, but I do know for me, my direct maternal lineage, the women who did not get hysterectomies, they had cycles well into their mid 50s. I'm talking about 56, 57, and I'm nowhere near that. So I'm not going to accept that. I know that's not the case. So thankfully, I'm in the state that I'm currently existing in. Even though I have these health issues simultaneously existing, I'm also able to advocate for myself versus when I was a little girl. I wasn't able to advocate for myself. Those women who came before me, they just really didn't care. Y'all, we got some, man, I can go on and on about this, and I really try not to play the blame game, but there has come a point in reality where these people need to be called out. Some people call them the talented 10, the black bourgeoisie, but they've just been in these positions floating along and really causing even more damage to their own people in their black community. And that was the whole name of the game and the whole point of it in the first place, y'all. These people don't care. And yeah, it's changing. Thank God a little bit of it is changing and it's getting a little bit better. But for the most part, they still staying the same. These black professionals, whether they doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, engineers, etc. Right? So I'm just very, very frustrated and annoyed about this, because these issues, they could have been resolved. And then on top of that, I know I ovulate every month because I take a test. So I know the things that I do on my end, but just to be able to voice this, I know the internet is not a safe space, but to voice this on my platform in a time in which I'm able to voice these things and nobody can really do anything to me, versus if I was a child and I tried to speak up for myself, it probably would have been a lot of dire consequences, or just the fact that I did not know that I could speak up for myself in those situations because I was a child, right? So, and then very annoyed and very frustrated because with health issues and resolving health issues comes with money. So now I have to pay out of my pocket beaucoup l'argent, okay? Beaucoup l'argent for because the women who came before me didn't do what they were supposed to do, whether they was the black doctors, nurses, or whether they was the the woman who gave birth to me or the woman who gave birth to her. Now I gotta pay money to deal with their willful neglect, intentional neglect. And that is very frustrating. That's very frustrating to me. But at the same time, I just have to keep telling myself, I just have to deal with it. I just have to get past it. I just have to get over it. And thankfully, I found a nurse practitioner who knows and believes what I'm telling her. And I'm like, these issues, this is not something that just popped up with age. So I know I'm not in no perimenopause. This is not something that just popped up with age. This is something that has been existing since I was a girl. And this is why I keep telling people, when you're dealing with this, and I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not in the medical field at all, but when you're dealing with black folks who are direct descendants of slavery, a lot of what this healthcare system teaches, I'm talking about United States slavery, a lot of what this healthcare system teaches, the mental health field, the DSM-5, all of that really is not for us, man. There needs to be a total overhaul, and it's just a lot of that is really just I don't even want to say a band-aid on top of the problems that we have. But this is where we're at until black folks get with the program. Black American descendants of slavery, not all of these immigrants who are mostly these black immigrants who are coming into these healthcare fields, and they don't have the epigenetic issues that we have, and they don't have the epigenetic connection towards us because we are so far removed from one another due to the transatlantic slave trade. So I just wanted to get on here and let y'all know that, once again, don't play the blame game. You do have to be an adult. You do have to deal with what you're going through yourself, but know and understand you are not crazy. Black millennials who are direct descendants of United States chattel slavery, you're not crazy. A lot of the issues that you are going through right now, whether it's health, whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional, they are directly due to the failure of the generations who came before us. So I want y'all to really understand that when you're going through things and you start to maybe try to beat yourself down about something, I don't want y'all to beat yourself down about that. They did not do what they were supposed to do, okay, at all, whatsoever. Which is the reason why the majority of us are in the positions that we're in. Thankfully, I was able to get a law degree and a law license and start my own law firm despite it all. But at the same time, that came with a high ticket price as well too, that I have to still deal with. But I'll get past that. I'll get through that. And I just want y'all to know, just hold on, black millennials. And like I said, when I'm talking about black millennials, I'm talking about black millennials who are direct descendants of United States chattel slavery. I really want y'all to hold on. I really want y'all to know, those of us who are really out here being righteous, productive, upstanding citizens, I want you to know that the generations who came before us left us on a battlefield, an uphill battlefield, while the people at the top are simultaneously pouring oil down the top of that hill. This is what you're fighting on, and this is what you're fighting against. But I will overcome, and we shall overcome, and don't give up. And like I said, I never tell people to walk away from their community, their family, or anything like that, but I know what I had to do for myself and the choice that I had to make for myself. and walking away from generations who didn't do what they were supposed to do. And with that, I'll leave y'all in peace. I didn't got this parking lot. I'm not in a good area of town. And then on top of that, I'm hungry too. Like, I'm really, really hungry. So, Queen with Soft Thigh Boutique.